everyone, it's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here on this Wednesday morning, and this promises to be a pretty active day of weather, including for the first time really this spring season, a risk for severe weather in parts of our region. We're going to break down when and where that threat may materialize as the day unfolds. First of all, let's take a look at the picture this morning. We had a band of rain that pushed through overnight, and that band of rain, as of this recording, pushing off to the east. And a lot of the morning and midday hours will be spent kind of in this zone right here where, yes, there can be some showers that crop up occasionally, but it won't be a consistent rain, kind of like that band that pushed through the area just in time for rush hour this morning. I have the isobars plotted up this morning, and you can see kind of the main player on the field here is this low pressure system out here across parts of the Midwest. A front extends off to the east, a warm front basically, and it's kind of easy to tell where that warm front is when you bring up the dew point temperatures, kind of a measure of how much moisture is in the air. And that's one of the key ingredients, of course, for thunderstorms and possible severe weather is how much moisture is present in the atmosphere. And while our dew points here locally are still pretty low, they're down in the 30s, higher dew points are lurking off to our south and west, and these higher dew points will push our way as we go into the second half of the day today, helping in the instability that the atmosphere can produce. So the severe weather risk for our region today, if you are familiar with these maps, you know that the yellow color is what we call a slight risk or a 2 on a 1 to 5 scale. The dark green color is a 1 on a 1 to 5 scale. And the risk has gone up some since yesterday across parts of the region, especially to the south and west of Youngstown. The slight risk or 2 on that 1 to 5 scale includes Cleveland and Canton and Zanesville and Columbus and Mansfield and Lima and Toledo, places like that. Now, in our television viewing area, technically most of our viewing area, if not all of it, is in that 1 on that 1 to 5 scale, a lower risk than off to our west, but still not a negligible risk for severe weather today, even though, again, the overall risk is probably highest just to our south and west. Included in the general risk today, let's talk about the different possibilities today in terms of types of severe weather. What we're looking at here is the risk of a tornado within 25 miles of any location. The overall risk is highest in this kind of brown area, which includes Columbus, Mansfield, Zanesville, over towards I-77 from Canton down to New Philly and into the Zanesville and Cambridge area. Again, the risk is lower in our TV viewing area, but it's still 2% and not 0. On a standard day, it would be about 0%. It's many magnitudes higher than that today across our area. So again, much like the overall risk, the tornado risk is highest to our south and west, but it's not 0 here locally. Here's a look at the risk of large hail. Large hail could be a factor in some of these storms this afternoon. Overall, if we get some what we call discrete storms that aren't part of a big line, but kind of individual type storms, you have a decent chance of there being some big hail in some of those storms. And this could be in the yellow zone, especially Canton, New Philly on west. This could be the kind of hail that can actually be damaging, not just the little pea-sized stuff that's more conversational, but maybe quarter size and larger hail. And that can be the kind of stuff that can ding your hood of your car and maybe impact the siding of your house if it's windblown hail. So again, the overall idea here is that while the risk is highest to our south and west, it's not nothing around here. It's something we got to pay attention to. Here's a look at just some model information showing what we call the significant tornado parameter. All the ingredients that would come together to produce a significant tornado, not just a little EF0 that has 60 mile per hour winds or something like that, but a tornado that has a little more strength to it. And the deeper blues and greens indicating the higher the significant tornado parameter. Notice how as we transition from the afternoon into the evening, this parameter really starts to fizzle out as it approaches our TV viewing area. So to get your bearings, here's our area right here, far eastern Ohio, western PA. This right here is about 5 o'clock this evening. Really elevated values in the significant tornado parameter from Marietta, Parkersburg, up to Zanesville, up to Mansfield, into the Toledo and Sandusky area. But as this zone, as this environment, if you will, pushes east, it weakens quite a bit. So That's why the tornado risk is highest to our south and west. It's just not as high around here as it is to our south and west, even though we can't discount the possibility. The environment here locally probably is not as conducive to significant tornadoes and overall any tornadoes as it is in places like Canton and Mansfield and Worcester and Columbus to Zanesville. So simulated radar product for this afternoon showing you generally what the radar should look like. A scattering of showers as we head through midday. Clock times are right over here. And as we go into the late afternoon, 4, 5, finally 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So getting close to sunset, say between 5 and 9, kind of the same time frame as we talked about online and on the air yesterday. Here's where we could have some trouble. These kind of more discrete individual type cells. If this gets going like this, then this could mean some trouble for parts of the region. So as I roll this forward deeper into the evening, everything pushes east, and I think we're pretty much out of the woods in terms of any threats by 9 to 10 o'clock, with those individual cells perhaps congealing into a line and pushing off to the east into a much more stable environment, and the severe weather risk will be quite a bit lower once you're over towards I-79 and into west central parts of PA. So again, bottom line for us today, we have an elevated severe weather risk late this afternoon and especially early this evening. While the risk is lower in our TV viewing area as compared to just to our west, it is high enough that we don't want to discount the possibility of a couple of mean thunderstorms out there that have a wind threat, a hail threat, and even a low-end tornado threat. Even outside of any thunderstorms today, it'll generally be a pretty breezy afternoon. Nothing crazy, but generally breezy. But if we do get a couple of decent thunderstorms, a wind gust of 50-plus miles per hour in those thunderstorms will be a possibility. There's lots and lots of wind energy aloft today. You wouldn't want to fly today necessarily. A lot of turbulence upstairs in the atmosphere, especially this afternoon. And some of that wind energy can be pulled down by heavy-duty showers and storms. So I would say wind is our number one concern today, with secondary concerns being hail and isolated tornadoes. And again, the main time frame, 5 to 9 p.m. We've got you covered all day long on social media, the Storm Tracker 21 app, and on our newscasts as well. Have a great rest of your morning, and I will see you later on.